Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to use HTML Canvas to create bubbles on the screen. This is a really fun animation that can be done using only JavaScript and HTML. Here are the concepts we are going to use today. Create a circle using arc method of canvas context. Use request animation frame to animate circles. Use JavaScript classes to create multiple circles and add stroke styles to circles to create a bubble effect. Let's get started. First step, we're going to create a circle on our canvas. I've added a canvas element with the ID of canvas, added a background of black, reset the margins of the page so I don't see weird padding. I've also set the width and height of the canvas to the entire window's width and height so that it takes up the whole space. Let's change the color of this canvas to something nice. How about this light blue color? That's looking nice. Now we're going to create circles that will finally become our bubbles. We want that whenever we click on our canvas, we should see bubbles popping up. We'll need a click handler. Let's create that now. I'm going to add canvas.addEventListener and add a click event with the function handleDrawCircle. Now let's create that function and add the event parameter. We need to know where we clicked on that canvas. We can get this information from the page X and page Y of event parameter, and that becomes the X and Y coordinates of where our circle will be drawn. Now we can actually start drawing the circle. We'll need to first begin our path and use the arc method from context. The arc method allows us to create a circle that begins at X and Y, the center of the circle, a predefined radius, which I'll define here. I'll give it 50 as a radius, a start angle of 0, and an end angle of 2 times pi, which makes it a full circle. We'll also add a stroke which actually creates the circle outline. Look at that, we never defined context. Let's do that up here. Let's give that a shot. Nice. We've got circles on our screen. It's got black color outline, so let's change it to something that's white by using stroke style. Let's clean up our code. We'll move this to a function called draw, and then call the draw function in our handleDrawCircle function. We'll create a function called animate and use browser's request animation frame here to create an animation and pass that animate function again to create a loop. Now, in our animation function, we want to change the position of the center of the circle to give the effect of moving circles. To do that, we need to know where the circle is. For that, we'll create a variable outside these functions so that we can access it and update in animate functions. Let's try this. You'll see these streaks of circles. That's because the previous circle is still on the screen in the animate loop whenever we update its position. Let's clear the previous circle by using context.clearVect and pass the entire canvas to clear. Neat, that's looking great. Now because bubbles have random speed and go in whichever direction, let's add some chaos. Refactor dx and dy to have random speeds by using math.random and a constant. That's looking good. Okay. Time to clean up our code. Let's refactor this functionality into a function called move and call move within our code. Nice. Everything is looking so great. We only have one bubble so far though. To create multiple bubbles, we're going to leverage classes in JavaScript. Let's build a class called particle. We'll be using this class to draw and create multiple circles on the canvas. We need the constructor for this class, which accepts x and y, the center of the circle. We'll need to set our class variables x and y to be the x and y that was passed. I'm going to move the radius dx and dy in the constructor function. Let's move our constants up here and clean this up a little bit. We already have a method draw. We're just going to move the draw function inside our class since we need every particle to be able to be drawn. Let's also make sure we update our x and y to class variables x and y. Same thing with move function. Let's move this inside our class and update x and y. Let's start by creating at least one particle on click by creating a particle in our event handler. We're just going to call our particle class and provide A and B, the center of the circle. We need to access this particle outside the handle draw method since we need to move it in our animation function. So let's create a variable called particle outside this function, which can be accessed by other functions. We'll use particles move in draw method in animate. Draw already knows A and B, so we don't need to provide that. While we're here, we'll also add a resize function that can resize the canvas when our window width changes. All right, we never updated our function declarations when we moved them inside the class. So let's remove const from draw and move functions. Okay, one more problem. Cannot read properties of undefined reading move. I think this happens when particle is not created yet. So let's add an if condition to check if particle exists. Nice, we have circles. They don't seem to be moving though. Let's see what's happening. We forgot to update x and y to class variables in move. If a particle doesn't exist, we are returning. So perhaps the first time animate is called, we still don't have a particle, and therefore request animation frame is actually never called. We can add optional chaining here to fix this error so that move is only called if particle is defined. Neat, particles are moving. Sweet. Let's fix the y speed so that they only go up. Let's also change the y speed so it's a little bit faster. We can experiment the values of this dot x, this dot y, and this dot dx and dy to create a speed of a bubble and an effect that we like. Once we're happy with the speed and the direction of bubbles, let's create more bubbles. All right, now the plan is to create particles on the canvas when we click, and then use each particle's draw and move method to create bubbles on the canvas. Since we've already done one, we just need to create more of these. We'll also need to keep track of all of the particles so that we can update their positions, which we can actually do by creating an array and storing our particles in the array. We'll create a particles array to store the particles while we're creating them. In our handle draw circle function, we're going to use a for loop to create a large number of particles, maybe 20 or 50, and then push these particles to particle array. And in our animate function, we'll loop through the particle array to call the move method of every particle, which animates every particle. Nice. So many bubbles on the screen. I'm going to update my dx and dy to give them a more subtle speed. These bubbles are hollow right now. Let's add some styling to it so that they have a nice 3D effect. We've used stroke style to add a white outline. We can use a combination of stroke style and fill style to add colors and effects to our circles and give it that full bubble looking feel. For the stroke style, we'll use HSL equation to add a color to the outline of the circle. Right. HSL accepts numbers, so white string doesn't work. We'll need to give it a hue value. Let's try 200. Cool. Let's also fill the circle with fill style. For filling the circle, we'll need to create a 3D effect. This can be done by using a radial gradient to create this sort of a 3D effect. In create radial gradient function, we provide the starting position of the radial gradient, the radius of the start circle, and the end position of the radial gradient. For us, we're going to create a gradient that starts at the center of the circle and create a radius of 1, and then create an outer gradient at x plus 1. To add colors to the gradients, which we can do by adding add color stop to provide shades of white at different stops. You can also experiment with different colors and different values here to create an effect that you like. I really like this bluish tint for the last color stop. Look at that, so much fun! Look what an amazing fun animation we created with only JavaScript and just a little bit of HTML. How cool is that? I encourage you to fork this code pen and play around with it and have fun. It can be easily extended to create fun animations and bubbles of different sizes, different colors, and different depth. If you do play with this, link your code pen in the comment section, so I would love to see and check it out. Subscribe for more cool tutorials. Now, here's the dev joke.